want to have lunch with Scott?
No, that's not what he wants. He doesn't want to have lunch with
No,
Scott.
that's not what he wants. Luke doesn't want to have lunch with Scott. What does Luke want?
Well, Luke wants to meet with
Luke
Scott.
wants to meet with Scott. Does Luke want to borrow money from Scott?
No, Luke doesn't want to borrow money from Scott.
No, Luke doesn't want to borrow money from Scott. What does Luke want?
Luke wants to meet with Scott.
Luke wants to meet with Scott. Does Luke want to have a meeting with Scott?
Yes, Luke will want to have a meeting with
Yes,
Scott.
that's correct.
Which is the same thing as saying that Luke wants to have a meeting with Scott. To meet with someone means to have a meeting with someone.
Luke wants to meet with Scott, which is the same thing as saying that Luke wants to have a meeting with Scott. To meet with someone means to have a meeting with someone. Does Luke think the meeting will last all day?
No, Luke doesn't think the meeting will last all day.
How long does he think the meeting will last?
He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours.
He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours. Does he think the meeting will last more than 4 hours?
No, he doesn't think the meeting will last more than 4 hours.
No, he doesn't think the meeting will last more than 4 hours. How long does he think the meeting will last?
Well, he thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours.
He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours. Does Scott have time for meetings this week?
No, he doesn't. Scott doesn't have time for meetings
No,
this week.
Scott doesn't have time for meetings this week. He's very busy.
He's very busy.
Is Scott a little busy or very busy this week?
Well, Scott is very busy this week.
Scott is very busy this week. Will the meeting between Luke and Scott take place this week?
Well, the meeting between Luke and Scott will take place
The
next
meeting
week.
between Luke and Scott will not take place this week. When will the meeting take place?
The meeting will take place next week.
The meeting will take place next week. Is it true that the meeting will take place next week instead of this week?
Yes, that's true. The meeting the meeting will take place
Yes,
next week
it's
instead
true.
of this week.
The meeting will take place next week instead of this week. Why will the meeting take place next week instead of this week?
Well, the meeting will take place next week instead of this week because
the meeting will take place next week instead of this week because
Scott is very busy this week.
Scott is very busy this week. Now, let's help Luke and Scott figure out the best day next week to set up their meeting. You're looking at the schedules for Luke and Scott's for next week. I'm going to ask questions based on their schedules. Will Luke be in the office on Monday?
Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Monday.
Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Monday. What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Monday?
No, Scott won't be in the office on Monday.
No, he won't. Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Who won't be in the office on Monday?
It's Scott. Scott won't be in the office on
It's
Monday.
Scott. Scott will be in the office on Monday. Is it true that Scott will be absent for work on Monday?
Yes, that's true. Scott will be absent from work on
Yes,
Monday.
that's true. Scott will be absent from work on Monday. Can I set up the meeting on Monday?
Yes. No, they can set up the meeting on
No,
Monday.
they cannot set up the meeting on Monday. Why can't they set up the meeting on Monday?
They can set up the meeting on Monday because Scott won't be in the
Well,
office.
they can't set up the
He'll be
meeting
on
on
vacation.
Monday because Scott won't be in the office. He'll be on vacation. Will Luke be on vacation next week?
No,
Luke
won't be
won't
on
be on
vacation
vacation
next
next
week.
week. Who will be on vacation next week?
Well, it's Scott. Scott will be on vacation next week.
Scott will be on vacation next week. Will he be on vacation for 5 days?
No, he'll be on vacation. He'll be on
No,
vacation.
he won't be on vacation for
No, he won't be on vacation for 5 days. He'll be on vacation for
5 days. This is going to be a short
This is going to be a short vacation.
vacation. How many days will he be on vacation?
Well, he'll be on vacation for 3 days.
He'll be on vacation for 3 days. Will Scott be in the office on Monday?
No, Scott won't be in the office on Monday.
No, Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Does that mean they can't set up the meeting on Monday?
Yes, that's exactly right. That means they can set
Yes,
up the meeting
that's
on Monday.
exactly right. That means they can't set up the meeting on Monday. What about Tuesday? Can I set up the meeting on Tuesday?
No, they can set up the meeting on Tuesday.
No, they still can't set up the meeting on Tuesday.
No, they still
Why
can't
can't
set
they
up the
set
meeting
up
on
the meeting on
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
They can set up the meeting on Tuesday because Scott won't be in the office.
Well, they can't set up the meeting on Tuesday because Scott won't be in the office. Who will be absent from work on Tuesday?
It's Scott. Scott will be absent from work on Tuesday.
Scott. Scott will be absent from work on Tuesday. Will Scott be back on Wednesday?
No, Scott won't be back on Wednesday.
No, he won't. Scott won't be back on Wednesday.
No, he won't. Scott won't
When
be
will
back
Scott
on
be
Wednesday.
back?
Well, he'll be back on Thursday.
Scott will be back on Thursday. Will Scott be absent from work on Thursday?
No, Scott will be absent from work on Thursday.
No, Scott won't be absent from work on Thursday. He'll be in the office.
He'll be in the office.
All right. So Scott will be back on Thursday. Does that mean they can set up their meeting on Thursday?
Unfortunately, no. They still can set up their meeting on
Unfortunately, no. They still can set up their meeting on Thursday. Why can't they set up their meeting on Thursday?
They can set up their meeting on Thursday because Luke has a doctor's appointment
Well,
that day.
they can't set up their meeting on Thursday because Luke won't be in the office. He has a doctor's appointment that day. Who has a doctor's appointment on Thursday?
Well, it's Luke.
It's
Luke has a
Luke.
doctor's appointment
Luke
that
has
day.
a doctor's appointment on Thursday. Does Scott have any doctor's appointment next week?
No, Scott
No,
hasn't any
Scott
doctor's
doesn't have
appointment
any
next week.
doctor's appointment next week. me again. Why can't they set up their meeting on Thursday?
Well, they can't set up their meeting on Thursday because Luke has a doctor's appointment that
They
day.
can't set up their meeting on Thursday because Luke has a doctor's appointment that day, so he won't be in the office. Will Luke be in the office on Friday?
Yes, Luke will be in the office on Friday.
Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Friday. What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Friday as well?
Yes, Scott will be in the office on Friday as well.
Yes, Scott will be in the office on Friday as well. Can they set up their meeting on Friday?
Yes, they can set up their meeting on Friday.
Yes, they can set up their meeting that day. Will both Luke and Scott be in the office on Friday?
Yes, Scott will be in the office on Friday.
Yes, they will. Both Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday. Can I set up their meeting on Friday?
Yes, they can set up their meeting on Friday.
Yes, they can. Both Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday, so they can set up their meeting that day.